one of the first big stories that happened after the Independent on Sunday actually started publishing was the release of Nelson Mandela in South Africa. And in an editorial conference, the editor of the paper, Stephen Glover, said he was looking for a South African to write a piece about Mandela for the Sunday Review. And I immediately suggested the novelist Andre Brink. Although I'd never been to South Africa, I'd read an awful lot of South African literature, and he was a writer that I really liked. And much to my surprise, the editor said, right, you organize it. So I remember calling his publisher in London, and then negotiating what we wanted, and the rate we were going to pay him, and so on and so forth. And when that was over, and when Andre Brink had agreed, the editor said, well, you came up with such a good idea, you can go out there and you can go to South Africa and cover it, which was new territory for me, because most of my work had been in Europe or the Middle East. So I was very surprised to be going to a completely new area. And I do remember that the Andre Brink story, when it arrived, it started remember that Mandela was still in prison. He had another week to go in prison. And the story started with the words, "The myth is about to become a man," which was sort of really wowed us at the time. And so off I went to South Africa. I was there for about 3 weeks. And I was I think on my last day, I was at a barbecue in Johannesburg with a whole group of people, including some human rights lawyers, one of whom was working a lot in London. And he's leapt into this sort of praise for the Independent on Sunday, saying what a wonderful breath of fresh air this newspaper was after all the other stuffy newspapers that were knocking around in London. And I began to think then, well, maybe we have hit on a different sort of formula.